Now I'm playing with all the guys in the country that are now supposed to be good. Now it's my time to see if I match up.
This is gonna hurt. It's time for the Suffering Podcast.
Basically touches me on my shoulder and says, kid, you can play in the big leagues. And that blew me away.
Wow.
That blew me away.
As an 18, or I'm sorry, you're probably 21, 22-year-old kid being told that, yeah, you can play.
No, I was, you're talking about an 18-year-old kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you're a junior, you're 21,
Right.
So he tells me that I can play defensively in the big leagues. I needed to get stronger, and I needed to, hit the weights and eat good. And, the light bulb turns on, right? You feel like you get, for all the years that you played, Little League, Babe Ruth, 4B, whatever, Summer League, you always want that recognition from a person who is, somewhat has value.
Highly esteemed in the baseball world.
So when he tells me that, I can play, I mean, I knew I can play, but at what level can I play at? And then when he, basically tells me that I can play, I'm like, okay, I know I can play, but thank you. Now I got to get stronger. Now I got to get, on the weights. I have to eat better and basically prove to everybody that I can play.
As a child, all of us included, you watch pro baseball. You're a baseball player, football player, whatever sport you like to play. You always dream of going to the pros one day. Everybody does.
Yeah, but I'm sure every little league says, I watch TV. I want to be an MLB player.
Right.
But you're not really believing that.
Reality hits you home when like one out of 100,000 kids.
I'm sure I said it myself.
Of course, we all did. We all did. But then
you all had that time in your backyard where you're playing like wiffle ball and you're sitting there saying it's a World Series. 2 outs, bottom of the ninth. Now you walked on and Seton Hall. Did they wind up giving you a scholarship before
my sophomore year?
Oh, good.
Yeah. Because I played well. Mike Shepard Sr. Gave me,
God rest his soul.
God rest his soul, gave me a scholarship, not a full scholarship because they did not give many full scholarships. You get 11, I believe, in college, and they split them to, with all the guys in a sense. They give everybody some money.
But now your dream becomes somewhat of a reality. There's still a lot of hard work and there's still many steps to go. But it's actually now, hey, I can do this. This might be a reality. As a young kid, that's got to build. First of all, it's got to do wonders for your confidence, but it's also got to do wonders for your work ethic because you're not just working to work anymore. You're actually working towards something.
Being a small kid, a skinny kid, you're always trying to prove yourself, right? You want to try to be the best player on the team as far as whatever skill you have. If you're a good hitter, you want to be the best hitter. If you're a good fielder, you want to be the best fielder. I was that guy. I wanted to be the best fielder,
and I think that's what it takes.
And
you were a Hudson County kid.
Yeah. Well, I was a product of the FA.
The FA. Now, I mean, you brought up the FA. The FA is Eddie Ford. Eddie Ford was like the guru of baseball in Jersey City, right?
Yes.
He used to have, I was saying before, he had an article in the Jersey Journal, I believe it was. It was called the Fa's Corner. And he used to write about all the different Jersey City kids and everything. The FA was fantastic.
The pool of talent from that area, the pool of talent is pretty broad.
Well, in Jersey, you have a lot of talent that plays multiple sports. So the FA had, he was associated with the White Sox at the time as a scout.
He was a scout.
As a scout.
He was a scout for the White Sox.
So, getting good feedback from him was fantastic. Yeah. I mean, you're getting feedback from guys that you look up to and say, okay, what do I need to do to get better? And I was one of those kids that, I listened. I was focused. I wasn't out playing around, hanging out on the corner with friends that were doing bad stuff. I was not one of those guys.
Now you enter into the minor leagues. From my understanding, from people who have been through that whole journey, that's a whole different thing in itself.
Well, you were drafted by the Red Sox, right?
Got drafted
in the fifth round?
Fifth round with the Red Sox. I was the first infielder taken, so they took 4 pitchers, and then they took me. the person that drafted me was the guy who
Tapped you on the shoulder.
touched me on my shoulder. Pretty interesting. So when
Do you remember his name?
his name is Matt Cesny, great scout for the Red Sox. When he signed, when I got drafted, and I knew that it might be him that was basically telling the Red Sox, you need to take this tough little skinny kid in a sense, and he can play defense in the big leagues. I'm sure if he gets stronger, he will turn out to be something. And that's exactly what happened in a sense. I got stronger every year.
But getting back to that, where were you and what was it like when you heard you got drafted?
Actually, I was very, very nervous and did not want to be home.
See, the baseball draft is different from the NFL draft. Like the NFL draft, it's aired live. Baseball is just like,
Yeah, you got
They
picked.
do it now, though.
yeah,
They
now
do
they
it
got-
now with the MLB Network. But that day, I wanted to just go to the mall and relax. And if someone called the house, they would call me. And that's basically what happened. You need to come home. You got drafted, and we're not going to tell you who, but you got. So I basically got home and found out it was the Red Sox.
And now you enter into the minor league world. You get separated. You're making probably nothing, and you're just on the road
Minor
playing.
leaguers don't make anything right now either.
Yeah, so
and you're on buses from here to there.
you're playing barnstorm baseball.
Yeah, but it's great.
Yeah.
It really is. You're living out a dream now. Okay,
But now you're getting paid to do your dream.
yeah. So it's no longer a fun thing. Well, it's still fun. I mean, it's great. You're with guys trying to make the big leagues on the same bus, in the same situation. You're rooming with guys still, just like college in a sense. But now the hashtag is you're a pro. Okay, so now you're like, okay, now I'm playing with all the guys in the country that are now supposed to be good. Now it's my time to see if I match up. So every day that was the chore in a sense.
Throughout your minor league career, how long were you in the minors?
3.5 years.
3.5 years. Did that doubt ever creep into your head? Because doubt is a dream killer.
No.
Never.
I was going to say
That's awesome.
3.5 years in the minors isn't long. You hear some guys that dwindle in the minors for years.
But I wasn't the kind of guy in a sense that was always focused on the big leagues. I was focused on being the best player on my team.
Best player in the moment.
In the moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
That's an interesting concept. Be the best player on your team rather than, so you have to climb this mountain before you can climb the other mountain.
Short goals,
Short
in a
goals.
sense. Basically,
From single A to double A, and then to triple A, yeah.
to actually, get drafted and say, "Oh, I'm going to be in the big leagues in 2 years." That's not a reality. You have to prove it every day, and that's basically was my my mantra in a sense. I really wanted to say, I'm going to come to the park every day. I'm going to play well. I'm going to try to compete with everybody in the country who just got drafted.
Is every strikeout a kick in the ass, and then every hit is like, okay, now I can do this?
No, because it's a learning experience, because every time you go up to the plate, there are things that you do well, and you're going to do them well. For instance, I hit the ball in very well. So when a pitcher challenged me because I was skinny and, small, I got challenged a lot. Batting ninth, right? This kid can't hit. Throw me a fastball, I get hits. Okay, so I get hits. Then they say, okay, you can't throw this kid in anymore. You got to throw him away. Then you get hits away, or you can't get hits away. They start throwing you breaking balls. Can you hit breaking balls? Can you hit changeups, sliders, things of that nature? And that's how they figure you out. Basically, that's how it goes in the minor leagues. So I did pretty well my first year as an A-baller. Went to short season, Elmira, New York, played the summer because you get drafted in June, played the rest of the summer, did okay. First experience. The very next year, I played a full season A-ball. I played half a season in Florida State League. I hit 275, somewhere around there. I hit 5 homers. I know all my stats like they're here. Okay, so then I went to the Carolina League and played for another A-ball team, which was considered another high A team. I hit 9 home runs. So I hit the fastball really, really well for a little kid, a little skinny kid. And they liked that. Play defense, put them in a 9-hole, and all of a sudden, you get a fastball, you get to get some hits.
You get power from the 9-hole. That's a score.
That's a score, right? What was the difference maker for me, and what made me different from a lot of other players, whenever they threw me off-speed pitches, I did not swing, because most pitchers don't throw strikes with off-speed pitching. They throw curveballs in the dirt, sliders that break away, change-ups down. And if you have a good eye, in a sense that you don't swing at bad pitches, you always put yourself in a position to hit fastballs. That's what I did very, very well.
Now, how'd your parents feel about this journey to this point?
Well, what basically, they were very proud, obviously, to have a kid who was going to now play baseball, right? To see how far I can go. But, they always said that if I did not finish, if I did not get to the big leagues and I needed to finish my college, to get, to graduate in a sense, I would go back. Okay. So, they were very, very happy and very supportive, of me. And I was able to climb the ladder and basically play well.
And then that one day comes, John, you're going up.
You get the call up. How did that happen?
Well, it's a little bit of a story, because when I went up to AA, that was the most challenging level, in a sense. You get the guys who are very, very talented. They throw very hard, but they don't have, a whole lot of command, in a sense. They can't throw strikes. So I had trouble hitting at that level. But, my manager at the time was Butch Hobson. Okay, he was the third baseman of the Red Sox.
Another Red Sox player.
Yeah, he was the manager at the time. He fell kind of in love with me, in a sense that he played with a shortstop that was Rick Burleson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I know that name.
And he said I reminded him of Rick Burleson. He said that I was a tough little kid that, was a fighter, in a sense of trying to compete every day.
A gritty player.
A gritty player, yes. And he fell in love with me, even though I did not do well. He goes to AAA the very next year. And because I did not do well, they sent me back to AA. But in spring training, when you go to spring training, you basically get to play at the next level to see if you can hang with the next level. So I was playing with the AAA guys, and those really were the AA guys playing at the AAA level. The AAA guys go on the 40-man roster, which goes to the big leagues, because when, in spring training, they have to bring in the AAA guys to fill in for the next 5 innings, because the big leaguers only play 2 to 3 innings, in a sense.
And then they go home. They don't even stay for the rest of the game.
They don't even stay, yes. So those AAA guys, they basically see if they can hang in the big league level. So those AAA guys are always trying to prove themselves to be a big leaguer. I'm trying to prove myself to not go back to AA. They send me back to AA, but Butch Hobson goes to AAA. And once there was an opportunity for me to go up there, he was in my corner. Mm-hmm. He says, I want him. I want him to play shortstop for me. Guess what? I go up there. A month later, he's telling the Red Sox that I want John up here because he's a really good shortstop. I don't care what he hits. I want him defensively. I go up there. I start to play well. I get stronger. For whatever reason, AAA pitching is a little bit easier because they throw strikes.
A little bit more control.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, I've heard that from single A to double A is the hardest step. From double A to triple A is easier from single A to double A.
Absolutely. Yeah. Double A is the place where you're going to have trouble because the talent is there. Young fireballers that don't know what they're doing. When you go to triple A, you get guys that have been around trying to make the big leagues, have been in the big leagues,
And came back down.
came back down. So they're professionals. They know how to throw strikes.
And what year are we talking about now?
This was, I got drafted, right? 88, 89, I was in A-ball. 90, I was in AA. 91, I was in AAA. So in 91, I did very well in AAA. Butch Hobson's the manager. He gets the big league job. Hello.
Nice.
Ding,
Yes.
ding,
So,
ding.
you know what? It just takes that one person to believe in you.
That's right.
And that's what
That's exactly what happened here.
It's
So-
amazing that a guy
so
like
he
Butch
gets-
Hobson. Butch Hobson's like a.
He's
like
he's my best friend.
that's great. That is
Yeah.
fantastic.
So he believed in me. Okay, so he gets the big league job, and there you go. I'm in AAA. He says, "Be patient." I go up to the big leagues because they now have to protect you after 3 years. They got to put you on the 40-man roster. So if you're on the 40-man roster or you're not on the 40-man roster, that means you're one of the 40 best players in their organization. So if someone gets hurt, you're going to the big leagues. So I go into spring training. I play great. He's the manager. He's like, I want him in the big leagues.
Wow.
I want him in the big leagues. But I'm hitting now, okay? I'm hitting with more power, doubles. I'm hitting some home runs. I'm walking. I didn't strike out much because more of a contact hitter in a sense. He says, I don't care what you hit. I want him for defense. But I was hitting. So in 92, I went back to AAA because he said, be patient. Let's see what happens. The team was doing terrible. They were in last place.
And I love that time of year too because I'm a Yankee fan. But go ahead.
Yes, I know you are. Okay, so the team's in last place, and usually in September they do the September call-ups. But right after the All-Star break, he says, we're not in a position to win in 92. So he says, let's bring up John and a couple other guys. Mo Vaughn went up, did very well. Okay, I came up, and I hit 280.
Damn.
280, batting ninth. They said, this is your job next year.
You know, I remember that scene in The Rookie with Dennis
So,
Quaid about
it was an amazing journey in a
about
sense.
Mike Morris, and they have a very beautiful scene where he walks into the Devil Rays locker room for the first time, and he sees the jersey, the Devil Rays jersey with his name on it.
Right, that's the picture, right?
Yeah, what was that like to go into the Red Sox locker room, wherever you joined the team, whether it was at home or away, and see Valentin on the back?
It's very overwhelming,
Yeah.
to be honest with you. And not only to see Valentin, I'm playing next to Wade Boggs.
Wow.
You know,
Hopping
that's-
over third baseline?
That's what I was going to say. Too.
No,
I
chicken
mean,
sandwich. I'm sorry. It was
Chicken
chicken
sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
be next to Wade Boggs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
He was the locker right next to me.
I was gonna say that's got to be so. I mean, I got chills just thinking about it. Like you being just a regular hardworking baseball player, now you're playing with people that you looked up to your whole life. I mean, that's got to be fantastic.
And what's interesting, when I got the call, right, we were playing in Scranton, the AAA team of the Philadelphia Phillies.
The
Okay?
Scranton Wilkes-Barre Red Barons.
The Red Barons. That's right. So I get the call, and I'm going up.
In 93?
No,
92.
This is 92. This is after the All-Star break. It's July 27th. The All-Star break is the 10th, 11th, and 12th. July 27th, the 26th, I get the call. I'm going to face Kevin Brown. Kevin Brown, an ace for the Texas Rangers
Texas
at the
Rangers,
time.
yeah.
Okay, so I missed batting practice because my flight was delayed from New Jersey to Boston, whatever. Okay, I get to the park. Batting practice is over. It's like almost 6 o'clock. We play at 7. I'm like, I'm not playing today. He puts me in the lineup.
Wow.
He says, don't think about it. Just go out and play.
Yeah, you're only playing on the biggest stage in baseball. Don't worry about it.
Don't think about it.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Kevin Brown really stuck it to me. I really didn't do anything against him. I hit like 3 ground balls and a pop-up. I mean, really, really great pitcher, had good sink, good slider. I didn't do anything against
Didn't
him.
strike out though.
I didn't strike out.
But you did get a hit in your first game, if I'm not correct, did you?
Yes, off the reliever. His name is Matthews. I believe it's Terry Matthews. I'm not really sure his first name, but his last name was Matthews. And we were losing at the time. So I go ahead with second and third. We're down by 1. I get to 2 strikes. I go, I got to put this in play, right? I put it in play. I get a base hit over the shortstop's head. Those 2 runs score. We take the lead. We end up adding 1 more run. Not by me, but by someone else. But I had the winning run.
Did you get the ball from your first hit?
Got the ball.
Do you still have it?
Yeah, still have it.
You were playing at the time. Was Nolan Ryan still playing on the Rangers?
Yes.
He was.
Yes.
Did you ever bat up against him?
Yes.
I marvel at Nolan Ryan for playing at such a high level at an age of it. But you watch him throw the ball, and there's very few pitchers in this day and age that throw the ball. It's like a Randy Johnson. You just threw the ball hard.
Oh, he threw the ball hard.
Yeah.
And,
He came out and threw out an opening pitch this last season, and he still threw it like 80 miles an hour.
He threw the ball hard.
Yeah.
Yes. And to be honest with you, the player said, if you get a hit off of him, don't look at him.